A well-loved and visited stone circle on a high point on the Oxfordshire and Warwickshire border. These are the Rollright Stones, the oldest of which have probably stood here for more than 5,500 years. I hope you enjoy the video. Please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching Eclectic Experience, change seen through images. The Rollright Stones are located here, about 23 miles from Banbury and 25 miles from Cheltenham, with parking on the lay-by next to the monument. To visit, pay online beforehand, the very reasonable £2, and then just park up and walk in. The stones are very popular. When I visited, there was a steady stream of people arriving, and this was despite the rain. A clear indicator of the number of visitors are the fresh flowers and the ribbons that are continually added to the site. This is a map of the site showing the circle, known as the King's Men, which was erected around 2,500 BC, about 4,500 years old. The Whispering Knights are probably the oldest, built between 3,800 to 3,500 BC and located a short walk down this track. On the other side of the road is the King's Stone, the newest, dated around 1500 BC. So even the newest is very old. The King's Stone sits just below a prominent ridge, which has great views, so it's easy to see the appeal of the location. And the site has continued to be used for a long time. If we look at the sign, we can see all the details of the various locations here, ranging from about 2200 BC to 650 AD. And then there is this bit of a surprise, seeing that there's the remains of a Cold War bunker here, dated from 1961 to 1992. And with this one, there's still a bit of visible concrete left to see. Given its prominent location, the site has almost certainly been used as a lookout point through the ages. It certainly was during World War II, and probably was over the many millennia before. Moving across the road and a short walk down this path, we come to the oldest monument of the three, the Whispering Knights. Although it's hard to tell now, this was probably the remains of a tomb, and the sign at the site actually has a sort of reconstruction of what it might have looked like. The stones themselves are very pitted and worn by the weather, really giving a great sense of age. And now the main circle, the King's Men. The circle is visible from the main road and is entered via a short footpath and then across some grass. Although deeply pitted and weathered, we can get a good idea of its scale and some sort of impression of what it might have looked like in the past. The sites are all constructed of natural boulders of limestone and were probably collected very close to the sites, probably within 500 metres. The significance of the sites is such that they were actually granted legal protection way back in the late 19th century, and this was also in an attempt to stop vandalism. Then as for the name Rollright, as with so much of this site, no one really knows where it comes from. There are some ideas, but it's probably just easiest to accept it. Various archaeological digs over the years have found evidence of people on this site, from even before the first stones, from around 6,500 BC. Whoever first erected these stones and then carried on using them, it must have been a colossal effort. These stones have obviously been a lot bigger then. There are loads of ideas and myths about the site, and some are detailed on the signs around. But due to the age and the lack of written record, we will never really know why and who built them. But what is clear is what happens now, and its people are drawn here today. We can see this from the many ribbons around the nearby trees, the flowers, and people performing ceremonies and holding events here. And this is what it's all about. Old buildings and monuments survive best when they have a purpose, when future generations find a use for them, and often it is very different from what the original builders first intended. When I visited, there were flowers in the centre, and then 3 women came and stood in the centre with more flowers, in the rain under an umbrella. Whatever your reason for visiting, it is worth it. It's not often you get the opportunity to stand next to such an old construction. I hope you enjoy this video. I'll be making more similar ones, so please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching Eclectic Experience. Change seen through images.